Today we're talking about this little gizmo. This is the GoGrove Flexsmart X2. And the reason I bought this was we're sitting here in my Silverado. It's got the stock GM head unit in it, and you notice that head unit does not have an aux input anywhere. So I could not plug my phone or an MP3 player into my stereo and listen to music going to and from work. The time that I bought this, I actually had 3 cars that didn't have any sort of aux input, so I was stuck. And the idea of replacing 3 head units so I could listen to my phone didn't seem practical. So I started looking into these. Years back, I had bought 1 or 2 of the FM, I think they were called FM modulators, that had an aux input. You plugged them into your cigarette lighter, and they would give you a couple channels that you could tune to, and it would broadcast to your stereo. Every single one of them was terrible. Absolutely terrible. The sound quality was horrible. The transmitters in them weren't powerful enough, so you get all sorts of radio interference, so I gave up on the idea of those. And flash forward a couple years, and this thing popped up on my radar. I was looking around online to see if there were any options, and this seemed to be the best choice, and it had some pretty good reviews, so I went and picked it up. So what this thing does is you plug it into your cigarette lighter. It's got your cigarette lighter adapter right there. You plug it in there, and it's got a power button right there on the end, and you power it on. The first time you power it on, it'll actually scan for a clean radio station that doesn't have any interference. Here it's 104.1 is what it shows. You can actually change it, if you have to what it's going to broadcast to. You can see it when I turned it on, these 2 lights blinked, and then they went solid. And they went solid because that was it indicating that it had just connected to my iPhone. So all you have to do from there is power on your head unit. Make sure you're tuned here to the same station as that, and then off you go. Now I don't know how well you could hear there over the microphones on this, but the sound quality is perfect. I have never had an issue ever with the sound quality on this thing. I've also never had a problem with radio interference. I'm going to demonstrate that real quick. So here we're pretty close to LA, so we're going to come up and we're going to turn to 95.5. Then I'm going to come here and tune this one down to 95.5. Okay, so now we've tuned this to 95.5. We're going to power the stereo back on to 95.5, and you can hear that right now I have just blank, nothing being broadcasted over it, but it is completely canceled out the local radio station. And now if I hit play again on here, it comes in absolutely perfectly clear. The song, by the way, that I'm playing is from Frog Leap Studios. He does covers of kind of top 40 music, current hits, and does metal covers, and the link to his stuff is in the comments below. So there it is. That's the review on this guy. In this truck, I have an antenna on the front. I had it in my Supra with an antenna on the back, and I had it on a Corolla, which the antenna was on the roof. So all 3 vehicles, even with the distance from front to back on the Supra, there were no problems at all with radio interference. Another kind of nice thing is on the bottom side here, it does have a USB port, so you can plug your phone in and charge it. And if you come around to the top here, it's got line in and line out. So if you are running something that does not have Bluetooth, you can still connect, no problem. And it also will pick up phone calls. So if you get a phone call, you can answer it with that button, hang up with that button, and you're off to the races. You can actually hold this one down, and on an iPhone at least, it'll activate your voice commands. So it really helps take the place of a new head unit. And you can transfer it from car to car. Just unplug it, move it to the new car. I think I paid $19, $29, something like that. But in the $29 range, between $19 and $29 shipped was what I paid for this thing. So I really, really recommend it. It's the first one that I've used. It's worked, and it's worked really well. And it's held up. I've had it for a little over a year. I've had no problems. So that is my review on the GoGrove version 2.